small occasion late into Friday afternoon, but good things happened towards the end of the week. Today was very significant. As I said earlier, in consistent with our motto, our mantra, to taking back greater control of our economic resources in our country. It's no secret we took government on the back of trying to maximize gain from our natural resources. Of course, with greatest respect to our investors who must make a return on the investment, meaning they must operate profitably. And so that our agenda does not intend to hurt and harm our investors who presently in most of our harvested resources are really harvesting raw and exporting raw, whether it's fisheries, forestry, agriculture, oil and gas, and mining space. Today's signing is significant. We have been a gold producing nation since 1920s and 30s when there was a gold rush in Wau and rural areas in our country. Our gold has continued to flow out and other minerals without us processing or refining them in country. We've been dreaming about refining our gold in country, our metals in country. Today's signing approved by cabinet. This has been work in progress for a number of years, but we have been keeping our investors around and going around and around in circle. When we came on board, we realized this is consistent with our tech-back PNG agenda, consistent with our downstream processing agenda, where whether it's fisheries, forestry, agriculture, oil and gas, or mining, we must finish downstreaming in our country and export finished product because it value adds to our economy. Today, for instance, I was just talking to the Secretary for Navy, Minister in the Joe Biden administration in the United States, who came in, Mr. Deloro. I spoke to him on this issue that we want to go into downstream. If you talk about helping us bring business, we will partner us in downstream into our economy. And today we have signed with Refinery Holdings a partnership with state, and state will establish a nominee. They will own 50%, we will own 50% of the refinery going forward. And for the state share of 50%, majority, about 30%, will be funneled to our alluvial miners and our landowners in our country, because alluvial mining is substantial. And the alluvial mining aspect is not accounted for. The middlemen, the in-betweens come in, they make the cream, and our poor miners who work in toxic environments go back home with little or next to nothing. And so 30% of what state has secured in 50% will be put into a structure for our alluvial miners and our landowners in our various mining projects we have in our country. And of course, 20% is for Kumul Minerals. We will ensure that Kumul Mineral is a partner to this venture. And if Cabinet has approved the terms, heads of agreement that we work with our investor into time, if we want to buy them out, then there's an option for us to buy them out into time as they come in to start this gold refinery and mint project in our country. There are a couple of businesses involved. It's just not processing gold. There are spin-offs in this business, including having a mint, possibly the gold bullion bank into the future, and having other products of gold instead of just a big gold bar. And you have products like small, iconic gold-based products that could be sold to niche markets. And so this is our first in the making. 1960, I beg your pardon, 1970s, 75 especially is when we gained independence up till today. They have been thought about moving into the space of refinery in our resources, more so refinery in gold, because gold is the number one commodity on as far as exchange are concerned and in terms of commodity trade. And for us as country to have a refinery built is something, to me, is at the apex of our take back PNG agenda, and this is something worth pursuing. Our investors will start to mobilize on Sunday. They will do a presentation to our state team on going forward from here. And I've given them instruction that by 2025, when our nation celebrates Golden Jubilee, it would be nice to have the refinery commissioned and operated as part of the occasion of our 50 years of independence in 2025. And so a good start in the right direction. We have non-gold producing nations having refinery in their country. We are a gold producing nation. Nothing must stop the imagination of our leadership to think that we can do it, and we're now stepping in this direction. And it will eventually mean we will have our own mint. We will have our own gold sort of bullion facility. And for a nation that is producing gold, what's wrong about thinking in that space? It will make our industry accountable. It will make and ensure that there's only one gate of all our golds going out of the country. We know exactly how many golds we're producing. And from there, the miners, whether at the large-scale mining operation or at the alluvial mining operation, then the golds is probably taken stock of, properly valued, appraised, refined, and passed back to them. Commitment by our investors is to ensure that the highest standard of minting and refinery take place in our country that is subscribable to London Metal bullion market. That standard is met, so we're not just doing a low-class thing, but what is equivalent of the best in the world. That gold does receive the best attention to it. Our team will bring in that expertise consent to make it happen for our country. Small but very significant. I am totally satisfied it is happening under the Take Back PNG philosophy that we are driving as a government. Thank you very much. So it will start, and it's a massive $1 billion investment. To set it up and fully running, what's the sort of cost of the starting up? And
thank you, Prime Minister. The starting value will be variable in terms of how quickly we get things going, but it will be in the order of 120 to 150 million US to establish and build, and then establish the workflow of the products through the refinery.
But all in all, as the refinery is in full throttle, it will generate additional minimum $4 billion contribution to the economy in principle, as well as associated business that will generate from this business.
If you retain after the elections, do you intend to put a ban on all gold exports?
Well, that's the way we're moving. We are moving into that space, and we will bring this venture will bring quality refinery, quality minting, and as we deliver this one, all gold produced in our country, from the large-scale miners as well as alluvials, and we will have facility to give you a good price. That's the way we're moving. It's no rocket science. Gold refinery, come and bring the gold in Sabi process. You can take your gold and sell it, no problem. We'll refine it for you here. Instead of having the same refinery investment in Perth or in London or elsewhere, we refine it here. And so we've already alliance with the power company and power supply. The power at PNG LNG will have a direct access of power straight into where this will be built up, both at the PNG LNG area in Central Province, as well as the dispatchment facility at Jackson's Airport. And once it's set up, then we expect all our golds to be processed in country. No secret, that's how we're moving. So the Mining Minister and myself will speak to our industries that this is the way we want. You work with us, and it saves them cost anyway. Instead of flying big gold elsewhere, we do it in country. It can be done. So long as we got good power and good motivation, all our gold supply goes regularly into one space. And to the alluvial miners, we will work with you, and you will get good price from the effort you put into the alluvial mining space. As I said, they will own 30% of the entire venture. All right, thank you very much.